Planning is a way by which individuals and couples plan for and attain their desired number of children and the spacing and timing of their births. It is achieved by the use of contraceptive methods and the treatment of involuntary infertility. Spacing and limiting pregnancies has an impact on a woman's health, well-being, and on the outcome of each pregnancy. About 214 million women of reproductive age in developing areas who want to avoid pregnancy are not using a modern contraceptive method. On the program with me from the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Idi-Araba, is Dr. Olawumi Adaramoye. Also here is a public health physician from the Department of Community Health at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, also Dr. Ugochukwu Eze. You're welcome to the show, both of you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I saw something strange there. Family planning methods treating infertility. Can you explain that?
Okay, so infertility is the inability of a couple to be able to achieve conception, most times within a year, of having had regular unprotected sexual intercourse. However, there are several causes to this, okay, like in different aspects of the body, from the brain, from the ovaries, and all. Now, using family planning methods such as the pills, at times some individuals have conditions that cause some anovulatory infertility, okay, that the eggs are not being released for them to be able to meet with the sperm and then have a child or achieve conception. So most times these pills, that's use of one of the modern method of contraception, helps in regulating this, allowing them to have more regular periods and hence
so making pregnancy,
yes, make it
easier to attain.
Yes, so much.
But apart from that, it's used to actually space limit
limit
pregnancies. So, Dr. Ugochukwu, I've heard some people say that they don't want to have anything to do with family planning. As far as they're concerned, the elites have made this whole thing up so that they will not have children. The elite have the power for wealth, they have the power for fertility, and it's not going to be taken away from them. What would you say to that?
Actually, those are part of the misconceptions and the myths surrounding family planning. You know, the elites they are quoting is because they have more information, okay, on what they can do to limit or space their children. And by so doing, it enables them actually, having smaller families enables them to focus more on some of the things they are pursuing in life, some of their goals in life. You know, and that is actually what made them prosperous compared to the people who are on the lower cadre, who believe that the only thing they have is just fertility, to have children, you know, and have it as much as they could.
So are you saying that these elites we're talking about could actually be as fertile as the, you know, those
of course, everybody is fertile. Okay. You know, it's a choice. You know, the number of children you have is a choice. So it's not by being an elite or not being elite. So it's just a matter of choice as a result of information that they have, which other people may not have. But
okay, so let's just quickly look at the advantages of a woman limiting her pregnancies, you know, from the point of view of public health. What would those advantages be?
Okay, I will leave the impact on the woman's health to, the gynecologist. But I'm going to look at the broader advantages of family planning. Number one, you know, when people have smaller families, you know, that's a lot of savings for the family. Savings on food, savings on education, savings on health issues, and then also for the government as a whole, that's also a lot of savings. You know, because you have less to spend on education, less to spend on health, less to spend, there is less strain on the environment and a lot of infrastructure. And all these savings can be channeled into other productive things, you know, which can make a family or a country more prosperous.
Okay, let's leave that for now and go to Dr. Adaramoye with your own advantages of limiting pregnancies.
Okay. So as I said before, family planning is a method of spacing and limiting. Spacing meaning that a woman is not ready to have a child now. She can decide when she wants to, at what time, either for whatever reasons, maybe to empower herself or to do whatever she wants to do. That helps her. So limit means that you're satisfied with the number you have.
Okay.
You don't want any more, so you can decide, oh,
And you have power to keep it that way.
You have power, yes, to keep it that way. And so you take a method, and that prevents you having more children while you live your normal life. Every pregnancy is a strain so much on the woman, in the sense that it's demanding. You are feeding someone new. So more like giving food, it takes nutrients, take a lot from the woman. So if a woman has too many children too regularly, she doesn't have, or too frequently, doesn't have enough time to recuperate. So she's having the next pregnancy, her blood level hasn't come back to its normal level, nutritional status is not back to where it was before. So she's more like taking from herself, so she's weaker, and the child also cannot get enough nutrients to even grow properly while developing. So family planning is a way of deciding when you want to have your next child, and then when exactly, if you choose to, if at all, and then she can, and with also other benefits, educational wise, she can go attain other things in life, she can do so many other things, and as I said, not too many children, so they can also have nutrition and grow well, grow properly, have themselves also educated. That's parents educating the kids, and then they grow also to also make good decisions in life and can even become the elite.
How long would you say is good, is enough to have, how many years between two children in a home?
Most times 24 months, that's about 2 years.
That's about 2 years.
Yes, so for the child to grow, at least the younger one is grown enough to care, at least to be left to play alone, while the mother now can tend for the new baby.
You can also yank that baby out of the cot like they usually do, or pound his head when you're not looking. So some people say, okay, 3 years, so that I have sense enough to know that I've got to take care of that little one. Is that also part of the consideration?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. It is actually.
All right. You have said that a woman needs to recuperate after having a baby. Her blood level, and what other things are we talking about here?
Nutrition. Her level, she has to recover fully. It's not just about the blood level, even strength, vigor.
Okay.
For a woman that has had a child before, she will know how it feels.
Does it have anything to do with a woman getting back to her former weight as well?
Well, somewhat. Some might not be able to, but yes, some can achieve that.
And then also, if I may add, one other major thing while everybody is driving towards family planning is the impact on reduction of maternal mortality. Every pregnancy carries a high risk of mortality for the woman in this part of the world.
But these same people will tell you that because of this same infant mortality or under 5 mortality, they have to have more children because they don't know which one is going to live.
Okay, what I'm even talking about is the maternal mortality. That's the mother.
Okay, for the mother,
yes.
No questions asked is better. But how about the children?
Okay,
they will argue with you that they need more children so that they can have a better chance of having more of them alive.
All right, so of course, this was the argument in the olden days when we don't have good health system, we don't have good infrastructures, we don't have immunizations, and so many other health services that are being provided now. But with the advent of immunization and the availability of immunization, that has saved a lot of children from dying. So mothers should no longer think about the survival of those children. In fact, what we'll be asking now is, do we actually have enough to take care of these children that will make them to survive? Because apart from immunization and the other factors, what other thing that is so responsible about child survival is your wealth level,
okay,
your ability to earn, which is exactly what family planning is trying to do. Help you limit the number of families you have, so you can have additional funds for other things, and even for you as a person to pursue your dreams and your goals that will increase your capacity to earn in life. So those are the important things we are talking about.
And ultimately, that will lift the nation too.
That will lift the nation.
Less people out of school and all that.
Yeah. That will lift the nation out of poverty.
How do you customize a family planning method to a person? A lot of people are a bit confused about what's best for them.
Okay, so presently there's something called a medical eligibility criteria. Okay. So with that, a woman can, with being Having been to a family planning clinic or outlet, a woman is assessed by someone skilled in administering family planning, and person with that tool is more like a tool. You can assess which kind of family planning method might be optional or best for this woman to use. Also, the woman also has a choice to make, because you counsel her on the option that is available, know what exactly it is that she knows about it, help her make a decision on what option to make, and then help her make the right decision and the choice, and then she can choose which one. So there's no one that is fixed to a certain person. Okay. No, it's more...
Okay. You want to add to that?
Yeah, at the core of every family planning service is what we call counseling, family planning counseling. That's you are giving people adequate information to help them make informed choices about the methods that is suitable for them.
Okay. So I've had a couple of friends. I mean, I actually know these people. They've gone into a family planning method and then decided that something was wrong. They were not feeling too well, or maybe they were gaining too much weight, and decided to change the family planning method. But they were required to wait for a period of time after that family planning method was stopped, and every single one of them celebrated the removal with a new baby. What's with that? How can we stop that from happening? This is a woman who wants to shift from one method to another, but in the waiting period, for whatever reason, things happened.
Okay, so most times when they want to change from one option to another option, most times you counsel them, maybe they'll have to use some other form.
Okay.
Pending the time of the wait. So maybe at times, maybe...
Why do they have to wait?
Okay, so depending on the time, for some you can take it almost immediately.
Okay.
Okay, for some we have to ensure that, for most people they will say, okay, let's have it at this time. But most of the times you can practically take it almost at the same time, except for some like the pills. Okay. Okay, for especially the ones containing progestogens, which is a kind of hormone. So you might have to take some other form to be able to cover for the lag, while the other method you are having in place takes over from where that one stopped.
Okay, this waiting period we're talking about, is it because of the overlap of chemical substances in the body?
For some, it takes a short duration to be cleared from the body. As I said, like the progestogen pills. For some, it takes a while. Like someone taking an injection, it takes a while for it to clear. So in the meantime, for someone taking the pills, you might say, oh, use some other form of contraception, a barrier method such as a condom. In the meantime, depending when the other one will take effect. So we might tell you, okay, in another maybe 5 days, everything can go back to normal.
So if a woman works closely with her doctor, she shouldn't be having any 9-month accidents.
Yes, ideally she shouldn't.
And also, actually, I want to address the issue of waiting.
Okay, you know what? Let's address that waiting when we come back from the break. We didn't need to take a break now. Stay with us while we take a break and join us on the other side. Welcome back. You can call in and ask your questions about family planning. The number to call is 0805-468-3514. It will be on your screen right now, 0805-468-3514. 3514. You can also tweet at CTV_Mary A. We're still addressing the waiting period. Tell us about that.
All right, thank you so much. So about the waiting period, actually, it usually happens when people are switching over from non-hormonal methods to a hormonal method. Let's say somebody who is using what they call the insertion, the IUCD. So of course, IUCD, if you remove it today, you can get pregnant today.
Wow.
But if you are switching over from that non-hormonal method, the IUCD, to a hormonal method, it usually takes a period of 7 days if we insert, let's say, an implant to you today, it takes like 7 days for the effect to kick off in the body. So within that period,
there should be an overlap.
Yeah, so within that period, we usually counsel that people should use a backup method, usually either a barrier method, which is the condom, or probably, if you can abstain, that which is a lot of difficult in the family setting.
For abstinence, you might have to have the husband around, especially here in Africa.
Of course, definitely. But we usually talk about the barrier method. Within these 7 days, we expect that this should switch into action. That's the hormonal method. So that's the only place we'll talk about waiting period.
But there was this method. I don't know whether it's happening now. We'll get to that. Let's speak to Deji from Ikorodu. Hello, Deji. Deji, are you there? Oh, we lost Deji. And, you know, they said the doctors ask the woman, after they've taken out the first one, you know, prior to switching over to the second method, they tell her, you need to have a period. And then while she's waiting, bam, she gets pregnant.
Anyway, I wouldn't know the facility they visited actually. So, but if we want to confirm if the person is pregnant, actually, we send you for pregnancy test.
Okay, so that's the problem.
Yes.
You want to be sure she's not pregnant in the interim.
Yes.
And that's why you ask for the weight.
Yes, especially where maybe you have skipped, you know, you've skipped your pills or skipped some days for those using injectables, the injection. We need to confirm that you are not pregnant for us to continue with that method or even switch over to another hormonal method. Okay. So in that interim time, we need to find out if you are pregnant. So the easiest thing we can do is just to do a pregnancy test. Okay. So I think that information may have not been presented in the right way. It's supposed to be presented because that's a simple thing to do. Send the woman to go and do pregnancy test. If she comes back and she's negative, she's good to go to switch over to another method.
How accessible are these services for women now?
All right, so when it comes to accessibility, because when we talk about access, we are talking about availability, affordability, acceptability. So both the national government and the state government are actually doing a lot.
Could I just hold you there for a second while we try and get Deji back on the line? Hello, Deji. What's your question? Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your question?
Yeah, my question is this. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Please turn down the volume of your TV set. And as you ask the question, go on. Hello, Deji. Are you there?
No, my question is this. Yes, I'm there.
Go ahead with your question.
I want to ask the doctor. My wife is having...
You need to switch off your TV because you're pausing. Just ask your question outright. Okay, we'll come back to Deji when he's ready for us. Okay, so you were speaking about accessibility.
So at the national level, at the state levels, you know, there have been a lot of efforts to ensure that family planning methods are all available at the primary health facilities. Okay. And then also the health workers at that level too are trained.
All right, so it doesn't have to be a doctor?
No, it doesn't have to be a doctor. It's one of the components of primary health care, you know, family planning and maternal health. You know, so at the primary health care level, you have family planning services. Okay. There is capacity and there are commodities there too. Okay. To do all forms of family planning methods at the primary health care level.
Okay, we have a caller on the line now. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Omolara. What's your question?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My question is, I just want to ask the doctor, if it's the best, the IUCD, does it have any side effects?
Okay, great one. Great one. Thank you, Omolara. IUCD, side effects?
All right, thank you for that question. Of course, just like every medication has side effects. You know, so, but the side effect doesn't happen in everybody. Maybe 5 in 100. You know, so, but
how many in 100?
I say maybe 5 in 100. But the commonest thing that happens with IUCD is that people talk about increase the volume of their menses, which happens usually in the first 6 months of insertion of IUCD, and we expect that after that it wanes, it returns to normal. You know, that's the commonest complaint that people have. You know, the other thing people may have is it probably, when we are doing IUCD, one of the things we want to find out is that the person doesn't have multiple sexual partners, or even the partner doesn't have multiple sexual partners. You know, because if you have an IUCD and either you or your partner has multiple sexual partners, it can increase the chances of an infection at the pelvic region, which we call a pelvic inflammatory disease. So aside from that, other ones are very rare things that could happen, like perforation, but that when, the capacity of doing that is low. You can have people, but we don't talk about that because the commonest thing we talk about is the increase in the flow of menstruation that happens.
Which wanes after a period of time. Okay. So in the last, let's say 10 to 15 years, do we have anything new on the scene by way of contraception?
Yes.
I heard that men are about to join the women.
Men are about to join the women in using temporary forms of family planning, or contraception rather. Okay, so, but I'm not sure most of them might accept that, such as the pills, which are presently undergoing some...
No, we really need to treat this well. So let's pause and take Tobias first from Oshun. Hello, Tobias.
Hello.
Hello. What's your question?
Please, I want to ask the doctor a question.
Go ahead.
If someone is having a fallopian tube block, can the person get pregnant?
Okay, I'll allow that because it's about reproductive health. Can the person still get pregnant with a blocked fallopian tube?
Okay, so I would answer that question.
Right.
The normal physiology of getting pregnant is when the egg meets the sperm. So if it's going to happen naturally, that means there must be no blockage between the inside of the womb, and then where the egg is coming from. And that link is by the fallopian tube. So once the fallopian tube is blocked, the chances that might occur is quite slim. So the person might need some assistance in achieving that.
Or use the other fallopian tube since
it depends on how many. That if both are blocked.
Oh, well, that could be
and then having just one. Yes, one can, but all the same, one would need some assistance.
Let's get back to the male contraceptives.
Okay,
tell us about that.
We know that there are two types. Okay, well, two broad types, the modern, the traditional.
Okay.
Then with the modern, there are two broad types also, the permanent type and temporary type. Everybody is used to vasectomy, which most men most people are used to. But because it's a permanent form, a more temporary form is coming along. That's the use of the pills, in which is still undergoing trials for now.
For men?
Yes.
Okay.
And it tries to...
Let's quickly take a caller. Oyewole Omadama. Hello?
All right. Yeah, hello.
Hello, what's your question?
Yeah, my question, the first one is that the doctor just talked about the side effect of taking an IUCD.
Yes.
The likely,
heavier flow
of blood. Yeah, and he said maybe in the next 6 months it could, come down. So, but before that 6 months, is there anything, that can be taken to really control that? So that's the first question. Then the second, if I may quickly talk. I mean, when you first started, you mentioned about the benefit of the contraceptives and all that. Then I'm looking at the community people, the rural people. Do they really understand this? Now, they want to have a life size. They don't care about, the education and all that. So how do we really bring this down to our community people, the rural people, to really be able to really come to terms, to understand this benefit and this importance of what we are really seeing?
Thank you very much, Oyewole. So we are talking about what to do in the meantime during the heavy flow and enlightenment.
All right, so like I said, the side effect doesn't happen in everybody.
That's number one.
That's where to start from. The few people where it happens, the heaviness is not in such a way that can cause any instability in the person. A lot of them will still be very stable.
And no low blood level or anything like that either?
No low blood levels, actually. So, but of course, you may find out in a few people that it may be very heavy, that they may need to go back to whoever inserted that. In that case, there are medications that we can give just to some hematinics and some medication that can be given just to...
And quickly, the second question.
Okay. All right, so for the rural communities, Lagos State government has a strategy. And that strategy is using the people we call the community health extension workers, who operate at the community level, to begin to deliver family planning information. And then also they have this strategy to keep this information at pharmacy, patent medicine vendors.
Okay,
and also
so
to use the
we have to close
and
now.
opinion leaders.
In other words, it's going on.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming to the show. It's been wonderful. Thank you for staying with us and asking those wonderful questions. Have a lovely day. I am Mary Alale Yusuf.